At some point in your life, you may have caught yourself thinking that you are constantly thinking about a certain person. You can't understand why this person has firmly settled in your head, and all your thoughts, willingly or unwittingly, return to him. 1. You are in love. This is probably the most obvious reason why you can't stop thinking about a person. When you fall in love with someone, our brain makes us think about the object of our attention all the time. Perhaps you are in love with someone you have recently met or started dating. A new person fills your thoughts, and probably you often imagine different situations or a future with him, since your attraction is very great. You may also be in love with someone with whom you cannot be together. For example, a person is in a relationship. It's a difficult situation because you have strong feelings, but there's nothing you can do. Regardless of whether you can somehow change the situation, you may find yourself thinking about what you think about a person and at the same time trying not to do it. You may also be in love with a person with whom you previously had a relationship. It's perfectly normal to have feelings for an ex-partner. After all, feelings don't disappear immediately after a breakup. You can still love him, even if you don't want to, because you were hurt. 2. You are trying to distract yourself from your life. If you met someone who aroused your interest, your brain can immediately focus on this object as a way to distract from what is happening in your life. For example, if you have problems at work or disagreements in your family, you will try to get away from these difficulties with the help of another person. You may realize that it's too early to think about a new novel if you've just met, but there's nothing you can do. You are wondering what to wear to a meeting with him, how to impress him, or what to do. In search of answers, you will constantly fantasize and imagine possible situations. This way you are distracted from the troubles that may be happening in your life. 3. You think all the time about what could have been different. This happens if you have recently broken up with a person. You can scroll through your breakup in your head, trying to find an explanation for what happened or think about how things could have turned out differently. This often happens when the breakup is unexpected. You feel angry and confused that the relationship has suddenly ended. If the relationship was long, then you can often scroll through all your memories together in your head. In this case, it's quite normal that you can't immediately get the person out of your head. 4. You are alone. Another person can live in your head all the time if you suffer from loneliness. This can happen if you have recently become interested in someone or have just left a relationship. If this is a recent acquaintance, then perhaps you are trying to drown out the feeling of loneliness and miss the sensations when you were in a couple. If you haven't had a relationship for a long time, then such a hobby can easily turn into an obsession when you constantly imagine, how could everything have turned out great between you? Perhaps you don't even want to be with this person specifically, and you're just looking for an object to get rid of the feeling of abandonment. If thoughts are spinning about an ex-partner, then you may also feel lonely after the termination of the relationship. The transition to a single life can be difficult, and you may just miss the person next to you. The feeling of loneliness is especially acute in the evenings, when we mentally return to a certain person. 5. This person is a mystery to you. Sometimes we can't stop thinking about a person because he is a mystery to us and we want to understand him. This often happens when we don't know someone well or have recently met. You can puzzle over his words or behavior, trying to figure out whether he likes you or not. Such a passion may not go away for a long time, until at some point you realize that you are thinking about him too much. We all have an intuitive sense of connection with another person. Have you ever thought about someone, and soon that person called or wrote to you? Although it is impossible to say with certainty that the object of your attention is thinking about you at the same time as you, there is such a possibility. If this is a person with whom you often meet or talk, then perhaps you have some emotions for each other. If this passion is mutual, then perhaps the person also has some romantic feelings. For example, you often talked and recently said goodbye after spending a wonderful day. In this case, the probability that they are also thinking about you is great. There is another reason why thinking about another person may mean that he is thinking about you too. Subconsciously, we read various social signals that we may not think about. For example, you may notice a person staring at you for a long time, and this may indicate that he is attracted to you, or he is thinking about you. How do I know if a person misses you? You will know if the object of your affection or love misses you if he tries to contact you somehow, whether by phone or via messages. For example, a clear sign that a person is thinking about you is his message, "I miss you." More hidden ways to show that he misses you are likes, comments on your posts on social networks, or other types of interaction with you. Also, a person can often find himself in the same places that you visit or make himself known in other ways. Why a person does not get out of his head. From the point of view of esotericism, everything that exists is energy. The universe is a reflection of our vibration. What you send into space comes back to you. If you have strong feelings for someone or something and you can't stop thinking about it, there are reasons for that. This does not always mean that you should be close to this person, but it may indicate that there is a karmic relationship between you and you were connected in a past life, and maybe in the future. We need to remember one more thing. We humans tend to look for explanations for things, but we can't explain everything. And although it is likely that this person also thinks about you, it can only mean that you are connected at the soul level, but you do not necessarily have to be together with each other. Does a person feel when you think about him? This is possible, because when you send a thought into space, its energy is transferred to the object of your attention. This is best felt in couples who have a long relationship or parents and children. There is a close connection between them, and they can even feel each other's condition from a distance.